So hello, my name is Priyanshu and you are watching Statistics My Passion. So in this video we will learn an example of the joint probability distribution. So without waste of time, just solve it. Let xy be jointly distributed density of xy e to the power minus y, and the limits are given and the following conditions exy. So all the conditions are given, but we have not given that all the given conditions are correct or not correct. So we have to find the values of all these ex and ey and exy. So how can we find these values? So first of all, we will find the value of the ex. So how can you find the e of x, expectation of x? That means expectation of x. So the first we integrate, and because of x we write x, and then we will write the function, that means e minus y, e to the power minus y, and dx and dy. Now what is the limits of this? Because the x limits is between 0 and y, so x limits is 0 to y, and the y limits is 0 to infinite. So the limits are, now we solve it after starting with the respect of integrate with respect to x. So 0 to infinity, and e to the power minus y, x square upon 2, and then 0 to y, and then dy. Now this 2 is the constant term, so we take outside from the limits. So e to the power minus y and x square, and because of limits this converted to y square, and now dy. So what is the next step of this integral? So how can you find this type of integral? Just write it. So there is a very short trick for this type of integral. If we have seen, then you can return y2 is y3 minus 1 and e to the power minus y, and because of limits are 0 to infinite and in respect to dy, we can write this is okay, we can write this. So this is changed to factorial 3. So this is factorial 3. So this is 2 and this 2. So this value is 2 and divided by 2 is equal to 1. So we find the values of ex. Now we will second we'll find the values of the ey. So how can we find the value of ey? So please watch the video till the end, because of, if you want to know how to how do we find. So the expectation of y is equal to limits. Similarly, we can write the e to the x, and because of y, so y to the power minus y, and then the dx dy. Now what is the next step? So this is the dx, this is the y. So how can we find? So next step is, because we have not given the x, but given that the dx So if you because we have not we can take 1 because we have not given the x value, and then we integrate with respect to x. Firstly we will integrate with respect to x, then we will integrate with respect to y. So firstly y is e to the power minus y, x means again 1 is x, and then 0 to y, 0 to y, 0 to y and dy. So the limits are y 0 to y, so we will convert it into y, so y square and e to the power minus y and dy. Now we will find, so because of this we can write this y3 minus 1 e to the power minus y dy and 0 to infinite, and this value is equal to mod 3 and this is equal to 2. So we have given ey is equal to 2, that is right. And now we will find the value of the exy. So what is the value of the exy? So let's find it. So exy is equal to 0 to infinite and 0 to y, and xy and the value of function, that means e to the power minus y dx dy. Now because of x we will integrate with respect to x, then we will integrate with respect to y. So integrate y to the power minus y and y x square divided by 2, and then the limits are 0 to y and dy. The 2 is the constant term, then we take outside from the limits, so 2, so this is the limits are 0 to y, so we can write this x square is y square, y square and y, that means y cube e to the power minus y, and then after the e to the power minus y we can integrate with respect to dy. So we can write this y4 minus 1 e to the power minus y 0 to infinite and then dy. So what is the value of this? So this is the values of the factorial 4, and the factorial 4 is, that means 3 factorial, and then 2 is 3 to the 6 divided by 2, that means 3. So the third one is incorrect because of our right answer is 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. Meet in next video. Thank you.